Hello everyone, today I'm going to take a look at this Hoover Dynamic Next 10 kilogram washing machine. During the course of this video I'm going to give you a guided tour of the machine, show you the main programs and functions, and then I'm going to put a load of dirty tea towels in it and we'll see the results at the end of the wash. Okay, without any further ado, let me take you on a tour of this washing machine. Starting at the top of the appliance, we've got the dispenser drawer with compartments for pre-wash, main wash and fabric softener. This is the main control dial of the Hoover Dynamic Next, which allows you to select up to 15 different programs. The first program on the dial is the Active Eco 20 degree wash, which allows you to wash different fabrics and colours together at an economical 20 degrees, saving you money and energy. The next program is Baby 60 degrees, which allows you to wash all your baby clothes, getting them clean and sanitized. The next program is the Daily 59-minute wash, which is a program I use the most. This is for your everyday wear clothes that aren't too dirty. It's also for smaller wash loads. You can't do a full 10 kilogram load on the Daily 59 setting. But it's useful for freshening up your clothes, your work clothes, and it'll do a full wash, rinse and spin in just under an hour. The next program, or rather three programs, are the rapid 14, 30 and 44 minute washes. Now this is something I do use from time to time. It's especially useful if you've been to the gym and you need to wash your gym clothes before they start to smell. Bung them in on 14 minutes on the rapid wash and they'll come out fresh, ready for the next time you go to the gym. So to select 14, 30 and 44 minute washes, you use the option button on the display panel, which I'll show you later. Again, that's just for lightly soiled and smaller loads. The dark coloured program is for all your dark garments and it helps to avoid loss of colour, so you can put all your jeans in. If you've got a lot of dark t-shirts, dark underwear, use the dark program and it should maintain the blackness or whatever dark colour. They can be black or dark navy. This program helps to keep those colours dark and prevents them from fading. The wool program is for your machine washable woolens with a reduced spin speed of 800 RPM. Hand wash and silk is for your delicate items marked hand wash only, or for any items marked wash as silk. This gives you a reduced washing temperature of 30 degrees and an 800 spin. The rinse program gives you 3 rinses followed by a 1000 RPM spin. You can reduce the spin speed down to as low as 400 RPM, but you can't increase it above 1000 when you're using this program. The drain and spin program allows you to do a default spin of 1000 RPM, but with the option buttons you can increase this to 1600 RPM or of course lower it to 400 RPM. The shirts program is obviously for washing all your casual and work shirts, and it uses a lower 1000 RPM spin to prevent creasing. The delicate program uses reduced drum rotations and a higher water level and a slow spin speed of only 400 RPM to protect your delicate clothing. The mixed program allows you to wash different fabrics together at 40 degrees, finishing with a 1000 RPM spin. The cottons program is obviously for washing all your cotton garments or your 100% cotton bedding. It gives you a long wash at 40 degrees, finishing with a 1600 spin. It is possible to increase the temperature on the cottons program to 60 or 90 degrees. The whites program is for washing your white garments, white bedding or white towels. It gives a thorough wash to prevent your clothing from looking dull and going a bit grey. The final function on the control dial is the Hoover One Touch facility. Now unfortunately I won't be able to show you that because it only works to its fullest if you have an Android smartphone or tablet that's got near field communication. If you do have an Android or smartphone with those facilities, you can access the Hoover Wizard app and you can control various functions and programs using your smartphone. This is the display panel of the washing machine that gives you various options, and it also indicates the temperature, spin speed and time remaining of the selected program. When you select a program using the main control dial, you'll see all the default options illuminated on the display. For example, on this program, which is cottons, it will wash at 40 degrees, ending with a 1600 spin, and it will take 3 hours 51 minutes. That's if I don't change the options. Now, with some programs, you can increase and decrease the temperature and spin speed and the soil level of the garments. So for example, if I want to wash cottons a little bit hotter than 40, for example 60 degrees, I tend to wash my cottons on 60, especially if it's bedding, you can press the temperature button here. First of all, it goes down to a lower temperature, 30 degrees, press it again, 20, and if you press it again and again, it goes to 60. So on cottons, 60 is the maximum temperature this washer will allow. On whites, you can actually wash up to 90 degrees. So obviously I can change the temperature, as you could see, just by repeatedly pressing the temperature button. If, for example, I want to reduce the spin speed, if it's a very hot sunny day, I tend to do this. I tend to lower the spin speed to maybe 800 or even 400. The garments or sheets will come out a lot wetter, but they're less creased. And if we have one of those rare hot summer days in the UK, you can actually reduce it down to 400 if you wish. But if it's a regular day in the UK when it's dull and rainy, you'll want the full spin speed selected. We also have active steam option, which is an additional program. It runs after the main program has finished, and it uses steam to help relax the creases in your damp garments. But once this machine's finished, say I've got the program on 3 hours 51, it will start again using the active steam, so it will increase the time it takes. So it's rather a long time to be waiting for your clothes. So I haven't actually used active steam yet, but there's the option if you want it. If you want to delay the start of the program, you can use the delay start button. Each press increases the time by 1 hour. So for example, if you want the machine to start in 3 hours, you can select 3 on the delay start panel, press start, and the machine will start in 3 hours. You can go up to 24 hours. If you keep your finger on the delay start button, it will rapidly cycle to the program you want, right up to 24 hours delay and back again. The next button has 2 different functions according to the main program selected. So for example, on most programs you can control the soil level. So by default on this cottons program, it's at maximum soil level as indicated by this t-shirt symbol. If your clothes aren't too dirty, you can press the option button and have reduced soil. So if it's lightly soiled, use that setting. And of course, it reduces the washing time dramatically to only 1 hour 56. If you've got moderate soiling, press it again, and then you've got a reduced wash time of 2 hours 31. Obviously, in the default setting for heavily soiled cottons, you have the full 3 hours 51. This button works differently though when you have it on the rapid setting. So if I turn the dial to the rapid mode, by default we have the 14-minute rapid wash. By pressing the button again, you can increase that to the 30-minute rapid, and press it again and you've got the 44-minute rapid wash. This button on the control panel allows you to select from 3 further options, providing it's suitable for the main program you've selected. For example, if you press it once, you have a pre-wash, which is ideal for very heavily soiled garments. Press it again and you have the Aqua Plus feature. This uses an increased water level on the wash and rinse cycles, and it's suitable for people with sensitive skin because it helps to get rid of any detergent residue. The next option is Hygiene Plus. This is useful for programs where you've selected 60 degrees as the main wash temperature, and what this does, it maintains the temperature throughout the whole of the wash to help clean and sanitize your clothing. This is also especially useful if you're washing bedding, especially bedding that's been used for somebody who's been a bit ill. This will help to eliminate any of those nasty germs that could lurk in your fabrics. The final button here is the Start Pause button, which obviously starts the selected program, and by pressing it when the program has started, you can actually pause it. On some programs, you can actually open the door to add any garments you've forgotten. You have to hold down the Start Pause button and wait a minute or so until the door unlocks, but it won't allow you to unlock it if the temperature is too high or the water level is above the door. And finally, to prevent any inquisitive fingers from changing the selected program, you can press the temperature and spin speed buttons together for about 3 seconds to lock the display. Okay, I think it's about time I did a load of laundry in this Hoover Dynamic Next. It's got a nice large porthole for easy access. You've got a little handle here. Now it will open further than this. I've just got a cupboard door here, but you've still got a large opening to put your washing. I also like the fact that it's quite high up the drum, which enables me to fit my laundry basket underneath, which makes for easier loading and unloading. Now, because my clothes don't get very dirty, I've selected the dirtiest thing in my home, which are my tea towels, and I have been a bit careless and made them a little bit dirtier than they would normally be. So I think that's a coffee stain on that tea towel there, pretty nasty. There's also, I don't know what that is, on my dishcloth, but these are pretty dirty. There's another tea towel there with a great big, again I think that's a coffee stain. I'm going to select the Cottons program for this. I'm going to do it on a 60-degree wash as well. And as you can see, there's some coloured and white tea towels, but I'm not fussed. They're not very special items. I just want them clean and sanitized. So I might actually press the hygiene button as well as selecting 60 to maintain the temperature. Just put them loosely in the drum. There we go. So I'm just adding the final scoop of detergent into the main wash compartment. If I was washing other clothing, I'd probably use fabric softener, but I don't use softener when washing tea towels, so obviously I'm going to omit that step. And now I'm going to select Cottons on the main program dial. Increase the temperature to 60 degrees. I'm going to leave the spin at 1600 RPM. But I am going to reduce the soil level because I don't really want to wait nearly 4 hours for this wash to finish. So I'm going to select the medium soil, which will take 2 hours 31. And finally, I'm going to select the Hygiene Plus feature to maintain the washing temperature throughout the wash. And finally, all I need to do now is press the start button. Okay then, let's have a look at the results. All the items have stuck to the side of the drum. Now what I will say about this washing machine, and the main disadvantage, is it is very sensitive to an unbalanced load, and it takes forever to start spinning. Even in the intermediate spins that it does after each rinse, it was taking a long time to balance the load. I find this machine works best with quite a full load, as full as you can get it, or if you're doing a small load it's okay as long as those items are lightweight. But it even struggled with these tea towels. Now that's not very clean. I don't know what was on this. I think that could be oil. So that's not come off. Obviously it is also dependent on the powder you're using. So that'll have to either be thrown away, or I think that's oil. I think the coffee stains should at least be gone. I don't think we'll find those anywhere. There's a few marks on that cloth. These have been used for quite dirty things. As I say, I don't really get my clothes dirty, which is why I used these very dirty towels. I might have got a better result if I'd pre-washed, or if I'd selected the heavy soil. But so far I can't see the coffee stains on anything. I think there was some on this one, possibly. So all in all, it's done a job. It's done it fairly well. It does crease rather a lot compared to my previous washing machine, I have to say. It did spin on its maximum 1600 spin at the end of this. Yes, all the tea towels, just that one dishcloth seemed to didn't come completely clean, but everything else, all the cloths, they seem clean. Yes, another tea towel that looks clean, and a few cloths finally. That's it. Okay, that's the load finished. Well, that's about the end of my video on this Hoover Dynamic Next automatic washer. Plus points, it is pretty quiet when washing and rinsing, although obviously it's noisier on spin and noisier when filling and emptying. When the pump kicks in, that does make a fair bit of noise. It's got a good selection of programs. I particularly like the daily 59 wash, and also the rapid 14-minute wash is also a program I use often. Also, I like the Hygiene Plus option, so I know whatever I put in there on that program, it comes out very clean and hygienic. Now, two disadvantages of this machine: the fact that I can't use the one-touch facility because I have an Apple phone and not an Android phone. It's a shame. Hopefully Hoover may address that in the future and give us the option to use our iPads or iPhones with this machine. So I can't use a lot of the extra functions because of that. But the main feature, well, quirk with this machine, it's not a feature, is it's very, very sensitive to an unbalanced load. Now, most washing machines have sensors in them to stop them spinning if the load is unbalanced, and that's there to protect the machine and your surrounding worktop and units. Because you don't want a washer to spin when it's unbalanced, because it will go all over the place and probably cause some damage. But this one is too sensitive. It takes an age to start spinning because it's spending its time back and forward trying to distribute the load in the drum before it decides to spin, and that is very, very annoying, especially when you're waiting for the load to finish. If you set the machine and go off and do something else and don't see what it's doing, it's not quite so annoying. But if you're in a hurry, it is very annoying actually, and that's the main negative. So bear that in mind. This machine works best with a larger load in it or a small load of lightweight clothes, but do not mix heavy and light clothing together in the same load, otherwise you'll find it takes forever to start spinning, and that is very, very annoying to me. So it's okay. I give it 3.5 out of 5. It's not particularly a machine I would go for. I would spend more money and get something a little bit better. But if you're on a budget, and this is a sort of lower priced machine, if you can get it on offer, it's a solid machine. It does the job, but it's it's just average for me. Has a 10-year parts guarantee providing you register with Hoover, but the labour is chargeable after the first year, so bear that in mind. The reliability of Hoover washing machines isn't great, but maybe they've made improvements. But so far, I've had it several weeks, it's done what I've wanted it to do, but sometimes it has taken rather a long time to do it. If you have any questions about this Hoover washer, please ask in the comments section below. I'll be doing a few more videos on this, some programs for people who like to see full programs recorded. I'll be doing a few of those, but I think my previous washer will be taking its place back here when I've finished making those videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.